Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. We're jumping into Watch Your Realms, and today we're going to go over attack speed. So we're just going to have a look at what it does, how it works, how it affects different characters, where you want to be using it, what you're looking for, the sort of the basics of it realistically. So if we just bring up one of our heroes, anyone would do, so go over to gear, and then there's the little eye icon up at the top, and then you can have a look down and it tells you what stuff does. So attack speed decreases attack interval to speed up the hero's basic attack during battle. And then above it is attack interval between two basic attacks. So what they're saying is it's the duration between doing one basic attack and then doing the next basic attack. Now there is something you've got to bear in mind. There's got to be something there for them to use their basic attack on. So if their basic attack is to attack someone and they've killed it, they won't be then doing another basic attack because there's nothing there to attack. The same goes for healers. If everyone's healed up, then they won't do a next basic attack because there is no one to heal. So if we have a look at our total attributes and that sort of thing, if we remember the other day we did a rage regen video, and it's broken down into various points. Now rage regen, basic attack, so you will gain additional rage regen per basic attack, so it will affect your basic attack being shorter, so therefore having more basic attacks. You will also gain additional rage regen. That's just one of the places where attack speed's gonna come in useful for you, so bear in mind you'll also get additional rage, but it would depend on how much rage regen you've actually got and how much you're getting from your rage regen basic attack. So that's just one of the places. The other places to consider is probably, well, most famous, I want to say, for want of a better description, is Marri. Now her basic attack does a slow when we can find her. Now it's quite important to note that with the slow she also does other bits as well, and the other parts that she does when we have a look at the skill. So basic attack inflicts a slow on the target 1.5 seconds. Okay, that's what she does. Now the other part of this is her passive, but there's a second part to it. Meanwhile, targets inflicted with slow by Marri will receive physical vulnerability, physical and vulnerability magic damage. So bear in mind she's going to put those two on whilst there is a slow attached to them. Now a couple of things to bear in mind. She's awakened 5, so the duration of the slow and the freeze inflicted by Marri are +1 seconds. I don't think that's attached to a basic attack. So this is not leveled up Marri, this is just straight from the gallery. So there's a slow, it's inflicted for 1.5 seconds, and apparently if you go to awaken 5, the duration of the slow and freeze inflicted by Marri +1 second. So I thought that'd be 2.5 seconds, but it's not, it's 1.5. I don't know why. I might put a ticket in about it and we'll see if we can get an answer back to clarify why that is. So when we have a look at her, we can see her skill there is 1.5 seconds. That goes on for. Then she's going to inflict the vulnerability for us, physical and magical damage. And then when we have a look at gear and we click the old eye icon and we can go total attributes and then we scroll all the way down, we will see that her attack interval is 2 seconds. But what you want to do is get that down to 1.5, and that's where your attack speed comes in, and this is probably where she's most well known from. So if we just go in and do a quick attack on pick up a guild boss and go into a quick fight here and do a playtest. Now if we have a look at this, now we want to get that attack up because otherwise it's going to drop off if she's attacking every 2 seconds. So we'll skip past this. Now if we place her down, we can see that it goes on. Every hit it goes on. It's only going on for 1.5, so it drops off every now and then. It's dropped off, and then goes back on. So you want to get that attack speed down to 1.5 seconds, so it's on all the time. Now this is where the attack speed comes in for us. So let's put the attack speed onto her, and we'll note a couple of things. So here's our Marri now, and we've put some gear on her. What we've done is we've just put some gear on with attack speed. So we've got attack speed up to 201. Now the reason we've done it for this is because that brings our attack speed, that gives us, we've got the 100 anyway from normal, and we've put on 101. So that gives us a drop of 0.5 of a second, which brings our attack speed down to 1.5. Now the thing to watch out for here is there is a bit of a rounding issue with regards to the game. So I think it only sorts itself out to 1 decimal place, which means at 201, our attack speed isn't actually quick enough. So it will go on most of the time, but occasionally it will drop off. So just to bear in mind, there we go, it's dropped off. It's only a split second, but I would, if you're counting on this sort of stuff, I would make sure that you do it all the way to, instead of 0.5, I would do it for an additional point, such as going every 1.4 seconds, because every now and again it does have a little miss. And if you're counting on it, you're better off having the RNG in your favour than working against it. So that's just one of the things to note. If you are working it out, I think it only goes to the 1 decimal place, so there can be a rounding issue for you as well. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're sorting out your heroes. Some of the other places I use attack speed specifically for attack speed, not just as running it as a secondary attack so people get more attacks, is when I'm building up single target healers. So for example, Vortex, single target healer, but when you have a look at him, his overall stats is 3 seconds and then he's going to cast another heal, so that's in between. So I would normally build my single target healers at middle slot. I will always put an attack speed main stat in there. I want to get a lot of attack speed in there. I want them attacking fast. I mean, I've done a video on Vortex just here, just about tuning him up for gear raids as well. So when he's in the gear raid, quite often he's not healing fast enough for you. He's HP based, so he's taking a lot of hits for you, which is nice. But when you're pushing on 19, 20 and 21 and you've got him placed down to actually take some hits, that's good. But then he's got to be generating enough healing for everyone, so you need him going fast enough, because he's only healing one person at a time. It's not so bad when you've got AoE healers or multi-target healers. But when you've got a single target healer, you want what I would refer to as a rate of healing. So you want them healing very quickly, as opposed to a weight of healing, which would be one large heal. So you may want a weight of healing with regards to an AoE healer, where they do one big heal and that's everyone healed up, and then they will time that with the boss doing their attack, and then another big heal, everyone's healed up again. That's not so bad. But with a single target healer, I want them going very fast so they can put heals out all over the place. Should someone get low, they'll heal them, and then it's another 3 seconds before they get another heal out. That's too long generically for me. So very often on single target healers, I will build them with a lot more attack speed on. Now, is Ivar. Now, when we first look at him, he's got an attack of interval of 2 seconds. So if we start putting some gear on it, we've put on a set here that gives us plus 75 attack speed. So there's our attack speed gone up by 75. Now, when we have a look at it, we've got 75 attack speed. That has given us a drop of 0.4, taking our attack down to 1.6. That's what 75 attack speed does for us, but not always. Bear that in mind. So now we put on another 75 attack speed just here, and that takes our attack speed up to 150, 250 in total. And then when we go here, we can have a look down. This time we've only got 0.3 out of it, which has taken our total down to 1.3 seconds in between attacks. So it's not a complete linear graph. You are getting, for want of a better description, diminishing returns on your attack speed. So there we go, there's another 75 added to him. Where's the attack speed? Attack speed down there, and then we've taken our attack speed up to 225, 325 with the standard 100 anyway. And again, we're now only up to 1.8, taking us down to, so the more attack speed you get, the more you need to take a fraction of the attack off. And it's not just you get diminishing returns anyway, it's also very different depending on which hero you choose. So this time, here we go, here's our new bloke here. We can have a look at him, and his attack speed is much slower. He's at 3.5. Now, if we just stick our gear on him, I remember last time we put 75 attack speed onto Ivar, and had a look at him, it goes a drop of 0.4 of a second. This time it's 0.7 of a second. So you get a lot more when the attack interval is much greater. Your attack speed is a percentage of that, I believe, and that's giving you a better bang for your buck on slower champions, and that scales up as well. So as you put more on him, this time up to 250 mark, and have a quick look, he's at 1.1 instead of 0.8. So you do get more for it, but you still get the diminishing returns that you got from before as well. That does still happen, but your attack speed is the same, but the effects of it are much greater on slower champions. So you want to bear that in mind. Okay, so there you go, quick little look over attack speed. Does it give diminishing returns? Pretty much so, yeah. It will never get to 0, or you won't get too much of it, but the more that you increase by, the less that you get. So where we ended up with attack speed then. So what this means is that early attack speed boosts are very effective. We're getting a lot more bang for our buck, and we're getting huge reductions in our attack interval on the smaller amounts we put in at the beginning. Mid-range attack speed is still strong, but the gains start to slow down, and then as you're trying to build it up to massive amounts, then your gains are very much smaller then. Champions or heroes that have got a large attack interval will have greater gains with attack speed as well, so bear that in mind. If you want to speed tune it against debuffs, that's where we want to use it, and if we've got single target damage deal or single target healers, that's another good place to use it as well. Okay, that's me done for attack speed at the moment. I might look onto some specific heroes later on who are utilising it for stuns on bosses and that sort of thing. That's somewhere else you might want. So that's me done for today. Thank you very much for your time. If you could leave me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, that would help me out massively, and I'll see you all in a video again tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers. Goodbye.